Yes, welcome back. This is a critical moment at the crossroads of American politics and federal aviation oversight. To understand what happened with the grounding of President Donald Trump's Boeing 757, we must look beyond the headlines and the political noise. This is not simply a story about an airplane. It is a case study in how federal regulatory systems operate when compliance breaks down, even at the highest levels of power. A presidential campaign aircraft is more than transportation. It is a mobile command center. It represents reach, control, speed, and inevitability. When that aircraft is grounded, the silence on the runway sends shockwaves through an entire political operation. The FAA's decision to ground Donald Trump's private Boeing 757-200, instantly recognizable by its iconic livery, is not an act of political hostility. It is a procedural intervention. In aviation, there is no such thing as mostly compliant. An aircraft is either airworthy or it is not. When the FAA revokes an aircraft's airworthiness certificate, it means the documentation and inspection records no longer support safe operation. That could involve missed inspections, incomplete maintenance logs, or failure to comply with mandatory airworthiness directives. Even a missing signature can ground a jet worth tens of millions of dollars. And for a campaign, this aircraft is not a luxury. It is infrastructure. A modern presidential campaign is a city on the move. It requires rapid travel across multiple time zones, secure communications, controlled access, and logistical precision. Trump's 757 allows him to hold rallies in 3 states in one day while running strategy meetings in the air. It allows full control over security, schedule, cargo, and press access. When that aircraft is removed from service, the campaign loses control of its timeline. Charter aircraft must be secured. The Secret Service must inspect replacements. Airports must be changed. Staff must be split across multiple planes. Press logistics are disrupted. Equipment transport becomes complicated. The entire operation slows down. Time is the only non-renewable resource in a campaign. The Boeing 757 is not a business jet. It is a commercial airliner. It carries a massive maintenance burden. Every modification requires certification. Every interior change requires engineering approval. Every inspection must be logged and verified. If any part of that chain breaks, the aircraft is legally grounded. The FAA does not gamble with safety. If records are missing, the jet does not fly. And the consequences extend far beyond logistics. In politics, perception is power. A grounded campaign aircraft becomes a symbol. It suggests disorder. It invites ridicule. It creates a narrative of mismanagement. Opposition campaigns will weaponize it. Media coverage will pivot from policy to paperwork. Instead of debating tax reform, reporters are asking about maintenance logs. The campaign is forced into defense mode. From a conservative institutionalist perspective, the kind often articulated by George Will, this situation reinforces a simple principle: the rule of law applies to everyone. Regulatory agencies exist to protect public safety. If the rules are flawed, Congress can change them. But while they exist, they must be followed. Exemptions are not conservative governance, competence is. A serious leader surrounds himself with professionals who ensure compliance, audits, and documentation. Failure is not persecution, it is managerial breakdown. And this is not a problem that can be solved overnight. A grounded aircraft must undergo re-inspection. The FAA may demand a full audit of years of maintenance records. Any undocumented repair, foreign modification, or missing engineering data must be corrected. That process can take weeks or months. The campaign cannot simply pay a fine and take off. Meanwhile, donors watch carefully. High-profile donors behave like investors. A campaign that cannot manage its logistics is a risky investment. Uncertainty causes hesitation, and hesitation costs money. Legal teams are likely negotiating compliance pathways with FAA attorneys. In rare cases, a ferry permit may allow the jet to fly to a maintenance facility, but only after inspection. If the FAA determines the aircraft was knowingly flown while non-compliant, enforcement actions could follow, including fines or pilot license suspensions. The pilots themselves may refuse to fly without FAA clearance, grounding the candidate regardless of campaign pressure. This event sends a warning to future campaigns. Owning infrastructure brings prestige, but it also brings responsibility. Vertical integration creates single points of failure. When the aircraft fails, the campaign fails with it. The media will frame this as drama. Regulatory reality is bureaucracy, forms, directives, audits, inspections. And in that slow, silent process, misinformation will flourish. Some will claim persecution. Others will claim recklessness. The truth is likely mundane: a missed inspection, a delayed audit, a misplaced document. But in a presidential election, the mundane becomes explosive. Now the campaign faces a choice. They can politicize the grounding, attack the FAA, and rally supporters around a narrative of oppression, or they can quietly fix the problem, accept responsibility, and demonstrate competence. The first path is loud. The second path is effective. But humility is difficult for a brand built on infallibility. For now, the world's most famous private jet sits silent on the runway, a 100-ton monument to federal compliance. The engines will not run until the paperwork is complete. The system is working, the rules are being enforced, and aviation, as always, is unforgiving. That is the reality of modern campaigning. And for now, the campaign is grounded. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We'll see you tomorrow.